The Final Fantasy VII Remake. What do we know about it so far? Let's find out! What's up guys, Canadian Guy A here, and back to talk about another remake that we have heard about, but man is it ever taking its sweet time. That is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. The game itself holds a powerful amount of weight on its shoulders, arguably the best Final Fantasy of all time and a fan favorite. This comeback is no small feat, as when the game came out on the PlayStation 1, it had revolutionary graphics and combat with cinematics that were simply epic for its time. The story was great as well, showing diverse and deeply thought out characters. So this comeback ain't no small fry, but what do we know about this long-awaited epic? First off, the game's initial trailer came out during the E3 PlayStation conference in 2015. The fans' reactions were, well, subtle.
Dude! Oh. It's happening! Oh, my body! Wait for it. Yes!
To say that people were in disbelief would be an understatement. Then, at the following PlayStation experience in 2015, we were treated to a gameplay look at what the game is going to look like, removing the turn-based combat and replacing it with more action-packed gameplay. I'm still kinda sad that the turn-based has been removed, as I was a huge fan of it before, but I think I'll get used to it. However, after the gameplay sneak peek, everything went deathly silent. There were no words from Square Enix about it. There was no trailers or interviews talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Zip! Nothing! Nada! Some even started rumors that the game was outright cancelled. That was because there was an incredible amount of internal turmoil within the company about this project. But why? Because Square Enix was having a third-party company by the name of CyberConnect II make the game. And, without coming up a nice way of saying it, Square Enix hated their work on the project. According to someone who has worked or is currently working on the Final Fantasy VII project, the footage that we saw during 2015 was only due to the fact that CyberConnect II was outsourcing to other companies like crazy. What outsourcing is basically handing pieces of the project off to smaller contractual companies that specialize in certain aspects of games, like visual effects, modeling characters, animating, etc. So what this tells me is CyberConnect II work was hot garbage, and they got others to do the good parts that we saw in 2015. Nomura Tetsuya, the director of this project, went on record to say that they definitely announced this project way too early. He said that there were many rumors that began to spread within the industry that they were working on a Final Fantasy VII Remake, something that you risk happening when you have a third-party company working on a project because of the possibility of information being leaked when in transition and communication between the two companies and outsourcing other companies to work on it as well. So they decided to not keep it secret anymore and just say it's being worked on. However, this turned out to be a mistake, because after 4 years of development, this tension finally came to a head and Square Enix actually pulled the project from CyberConnect II. And apparently, their work was so bad that they dumped the entire project and started basically from scratch. That's right. 4 years of work down the drain because of CyberConnect. Okay. I am getting sick and tired of saying this company's name. I'm just going to call them Cyber, because CyberConnect II is an awful name. Kind of like their work, apparently. 4 years of work are now down the drain because Cyber's inability to handle the project correctly. However, there lied another problem. Nomura Tetsuya is also the director of Kingdom Hearts 3, which is releasing the end of January 2019. So suffice to say, the saying he had his plate full would be an understatement. to be directing one of the best RPGs of all time's comeback, and a partnership with Disney on the third installment of another much anticipated RPG, yeah, I think Nomura should come up with a new word that is beyond stressed. You would think that this conflict would have been sorted out though, right? Like, why would Nomura be bouncing between two projects like this? Well, it was planned fine originally, but Cyber's ability to not handle this game well had threw a giant buster sword in the gears and put a project at the all-time halt. By the time Square actually fired Cyber, Nomura was so knee-deep in Kingdom Hearts he likely was wearing Mickey Mouse ears to work every day. So once again, the project had to be put at an all-time crawl. There is also evidence that the game was originally slated to be released in 2018 when it was in Cyber's hands. This is proven by the fact that apparently on stage, Nobu Uimatsu, the musical director behind the Final Fantasy franchise, accidentally said the reason behind his recent concerts being so Final Fantasy VII themed was because the game was originally supposed to release in 2018. However, Square has done their best to censor this out and stomp out any rumors regarding this. But now that Nomura is finished with Kingdom Hearts, he is now full steam ahead on the production of Final Fantasy VII. We also have more details as to how the production will work on this project. First off, the game is being made in the Unreal Engine, which has been shown to basically be the go-to engine with these remakes and remasters, following the steps of both Spyro, Medieval, and likely Crash Team Racing. But the following information makes me think that this is not quite the remake that I thought we were going to get, and has me with some mixed feelings. The game will be released in 3 episodes, as in basically 3 different games. Originally, I felt really negative about this until it was clarified that each episode will be the length of apparently Final Fantasy XIII, which averages at about 60 hours, which means the game's total play length with all 3 episodes would be shy of 200 hours. However, the average play length of the original Final Fantasy VII was only 55.5 hours. So what that tells me is that they have a lot of fleshing out to do in terms of story. And I mean a lot of it. So be prepared for the backstory of Zack from Crisis Core possibly, as he is the backbone of Cloud's story, and many other characters, and likely missions to go more in depth in terms of lore and activities. Another thing I would like to note is that this game will be a timed exclusive to the PlayStation brand of consoles, but I don't know how this is going to work as the game will be coming out in 3 parts. So does each part get like a year of being exclusive? Does only part 1 become exclusive? I don't know. We'll just have to see. Now, Nobu Uematsu, the original composer of the game, will do the music as long as health permits it, as he has been struggling with health issues recently. I pray that he gets better and can work on this marvelous game. Now, some of you Final Fantasy savants might have sat through this entire video saying, yeah, I know all this so far. Well, don't worry, because according to Nomura, 2019 is going to be a huge year for Final Fantasy VII. Recently, at a showing in Japan, Nomura wanted to show new gameplay off of Final Fantasy VII, but Square Enix said no, simply because they did not want Final Fantasy VII to take any hype or overshadow the attention towards Kingdom Hearts 3. So once Kingdom Hearts 3 settles, Square Enix crosshairs will be lined up at Final Fantasy VII in terms of marketing. So I am thinking that we will see more content for Final Fantasy VII at E3 2019 during Square Enix's press conference, and or during the PlayStation-like experience that Sony is hosting this year. If I remember correctly, they will be having 2 events this year, likely showing off games and possibly the PlayStation 5. But stay tuned to this channel for more Final Fantasy VII news, as I will be including that into my content. Anyway guys, thanks so much for watching. Cue the extra.
Bye.